Hi, welcome to Essential Scripts. My name is Lana, and this is a calm, narrative channel where we explore influential books, literature, and ideas in a clear and thoughtful way, designed especially for people who enjoy learning while walking, working, or unwinding. We do more than simple summaries here, because each episode focuses on extracting the key ideas that truly matter and offering practical guidance on how those ideas can be applied in everyday life, so learning feels useful, grounded, and easy to carry forward. Let's begin. When The Psychology of Money was released, it quickly found its way onto the recommended reading lists of investors, entrepreneurs, and thinkers who already understood finance, yet still felt something was missing. Morgan Housel did not write this book to teach people how to beat the market, pick winning stocks, or decode complex economic models. Instead, he wrote it to explain something far more elusive and far more powerful: why people who know all the rules of money still make poor financial decisions, and why others succeed without ever appearing brilliant on paper. This book became influential because it challenged the idea that money is a math problem. It showed that money is, at its core, a behavioral problem shaped by emotion, experience, fear, pride, and timing. The promise of this book is not financial genius, but financial clarity. By the end of this summary, you will understand why doing well with money has less to do with intelligence and more to do with psychology, patience, and humility. The foundational principle. The foundational idea of the psychology of money is simple, but deeply counterintuitive. Financial success is not driven by what you know, but by how you behave. Intelligence, spreadsheets, and forecasts matter far less than habits, temperament, and long-term thinking. Two people can see the same information, earn the same income, and live in the same economy, yet experience radically different financial outcomes because their behavior toward money is different. Housel emphasizes that every financial decision we make is shaped by our personal experiences, and those experiences are often narrow, emotional, and incomplete. What feels obvious or safe to one person can feel reckless or foolish to another, even when both are acting rationally according to their own lived history. This is why money debates often feel personal and heated. People are not arguing numbers, they are defending narratives formed by their past. The core lesson is that money rewards patience, humility, and consistency far more than brilliance. Long-term wealth is built by avoiding catastrophic mistakes, staying invested, and respecting uncertainty, rather than by chasing extraordinary returns. Once this principle is understood, the rest of the book becomes a study of how human behavior quietly shapes financial destiny. Key lessons and applications. Lesson 1. No one is crazy. One of the most grounding ideas in the book is that people are not irrational with money. They are simply acting based on their own experiences. Someone who grew up during a recession may value safety above growth, while someone who experienced decades of rising markets may feel comfortable taking risks. Both are responding logically to the world as they have known it. The danger arises when we assume our view of money is universal or objectively correct. When investors dismiss others as foolish or reckless, they overlook the fact that financial decisions are deeply personal and shaped by context. Understanding this reduces judgment and increases empathy, both toward others and toward ourselves. To practice this, instead of asking whether a financial decision is objectively right or wrong, ask whether it aligns with your goals, risk tolerance, and emotional comfort. The best financial plan is one you can stick with during uncertainty, not one that looks perfect on paper. Build strategies that reflect who you are, not who textbooks assume you should be. Lesson 2. Luck, risk, and the role of uncertainty. Housel repeatedly reminds readers that luck and risk are always present, even when they are invisible. Success stories are often celebrated without acknowledging the role of favorable timing or unseen advantages, while failures are judged harshly without considering bad luck or external forces. This leads to dangerous conclusions. When we overattribute success to skill, we become overconfident. When we overattribute failure to incompetence, we become judgmental. In reality, outcomes are usually a blend of effort, randomness, and timing. The book argues that understanding uncertainty is essential for long-term survival. You do not need to be right all the time to succeed. You only need to avoid being catastrophically wrong. And this mindset shifts the goal from prediction to resilience. To apply this, design your financial life to survive mistakes and randomness. Keep margins of safety. Avoid leverage that can wipe you out. Diversify not because you expect every investment to fail, but because you accept that you cannot predict which ones will. Focus less on maximizing returns and more on staying in the game long enough for compounding to work. Lesson 3. Compounding is more powerful than brilliance. One of the most understated lessons in the book is that time, not intelligence, is the most powerful force in building wealth. Housel points out that many of the world's wealthiest investors are not those who made the best decisions, but those who stayed invested for the longest time without interruption. Compounding requires patience, and patience is emotionally difficult. People interrupt compounding by chasing trends, panicking during downturns, or constantly trying to optimize short-term performance. The irony is that these attempts to be smart often reduce long-term results. The book reframes wealth not as something created by dramatic moments, but by ordinary consistency repeated over long periods. The ability to endure boredom, uncertainty, and slow progress becomes a competitive advantage. To practice this, reduce unnecessary activity in your financial life. Automate investments. Avoid frequent checking and constant adjustment. Measure progress over years, not months. Accept that most wealth is built quietly and slowly, and that consistency often beats intensity. Lesson 4. The difference between being rich and being wealthy. Housel makes a crucial distinction between being rich and being wealthy. Being rich is about visible income and spending. Being wealthy is about what you do not see, which is the money you did not spend. Wealth is freedom, optionality, and control over your time, not status or consumption. Many people chase the appearance of success without realizing that it often comes at the cost of long-term security. High income paired with high expenses can create fragility rather than freedom. True wealth is the ability to say no, to walk away, and to live without financial anxiety. This lesson challenges modern consumer culture, which constantly encourages people to equate spending with success. The book argues that restraint is not deprivation, but power. To apply this, shift focus from impressing others to protecting your future self. Increase savings not as a sacrifice, but as an investment in freedom. Measure wealth by how long you could sustain your lifestyle without income rather than by visible markers of success. Synthesis and critique. The psychology of money fits seamlessly into modern life because it addresses the emotional complexity of living in a world filled with financial noise. Markets move faster than human psychology can adapt, and constant exposure to information amplifies fear and overconfidence. This book offers a stabilizing perspective by reminding readers that uncertainty is normal and humility is essential. Its ideas align closely with timeless wisdom traditions that emphasize moderation, patience, and long-term thinking. Stoic philosophy, for example, teaches control over impulses and acceptance of uncertainty, values that mirror Housel's approach to money. The book does not dismiss ambition or growth, but reframes them within a sustainable behavioral framework. One potential misunderstanding is assuming that behavior alone guarantees success. Structural factors, opportunity, and systemic constraints still matter. Housel acknowledges this, but some readers may oversimplify the message. The book is best understood not as a guarantee of wealth, but as a guide to making better decisions under uncertainty. My takeaway from this book: the most valuable lesson from the psychology of money is that financial success is not about mastering complex strategies, but about mastering yourself. The ability to remain patient, humble, and consistent matters more than being right, fast, or impressive. Money rewards those who respect uncertainty and protect their ability to keep going. The goal is not to be the smartest person in the room, but the one who stays in the game the longest. Build a financial life that you can live with, sleep with, and sustain through uncertainty. If you found this summary valuable, consider liking the video, sharing it with someone who thinks money is purely logical, and subscribing for more calm, long-form audio summaries. Your support helps keep these deep dives coming.